Welcome to Discussing Dad Life, also known as DDL. This is Null, I'm Void, where we talk about various topics. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like our content.
Boom. Here we are. What's going on?
You sure?
He gave us the signal. He's your son, so
This
I
shit's
guess if it's
surreal.
wrong, it's on your gene pool, not mine.
Not that. I was talking about current events, Dick.
Oh, sorry. Current events, man. What's going on?
Well, Hawaii looks like it's hell.
Yeah.
A war zone. That's another way to put it.
So
Hunter Biden's plea deal fell apart. We got a couple different things.
yeah, we got a few different things. I guess let's start with Hawaii since it's a little bit
Popping.
tragic.
It's
and,
popping.
Well, and you just got a notification that another one popped off.
Just got a notification on my phone saying that there's another one and there's a curfew enacted or something. Like I haven't read the article yet, but
So last I heard, there was a city basically razed to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they haven't identified what started the fires. They're thinking it was electrical wires or electrical power lines.
yeah, they had. I don't know what they said, but
But I heard there was also like huge winds.
yeah,
And that's basically what made that just like roaring fire. It
Yeah.
just took I heard people were like down on the piers, like on the
Yeah, they were,
restaurants and
like,
stuff and jumping in the
Yep,
water.
yep.
Yeah. That's crazy.
and then
man.
there's the conspiracy side of that.
Oh yeah, there is the conspiracy
Because
side.
just about 6 months ago, there's that Chinese satellite or whatever. It was like
Doing the-
green,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
lasers all over it, and then weird, a weather balloon.
Yeah, there was a weather balloon over it too. And then I mentioned that, and you said, "Oh yeah, look at Canada too. There was the weather
Yeah,
balloon."
there was. Yeah, there
and
was
then
weather
the
balloon.
Canadian fires that were happening.
Yep.
So-
Montana, look out. Just saying.
So unfortunately, I'm going to be in Montana this next week. Don't say
right.
that crap, man. But if there was really lasers that were powerful enough to start a fire from space, I don't know if they would exist. And even if they did exist, I don't think we would ever know that to be true or not, right? So they're going to come up with it was power lines.
Yeah, we would never know. But
It more than likely, the likely excuse is most likely the actual cause, right? Because wasn't it back in like the Chicago fire? Wasn't that actually just started from a cow kicking over in a lantern or something that?
I haven't studied that in a long time, but dude, I don't know, man. So it's anything's possible nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, wait until we get into the rest of our topics, but anything is possible.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, I saw some of the pictures of the vehicles, like literally melted to the concrete and asphalt.
Did you see any of the videos that people were taking while they were recording it? Or while they were recording while they were in it. There was one video of I think it was like two dudes in a car driving through the flames. And you can just see flames and like smoke, and you can make out a body on the side of the road, and they're just like, "Oh, we can't help her, just go." And I'm just like, I feel kind of bad because I'm like,
Self-preservation, man.
you should try and stop and help, but at the same time, it's like if you do, what's the result going to be to you? So
Yeah.
I mean,
I understand.
It's hard.
Yeah, and it is a hard call. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry about that, but yeah, I completely get it's you're crossed between two. You know, either you could possibly end up dying, and you got a family, you got shit. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you help your fellow man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But so we both worked in the dairy industry. We've
Yeah.
both gone through confined space training. What happens if you're in a silo or you're in an enclosed space and you go down?
Well, hopefully you have a buddy.
you have to have a trained rescue team,
Yeah, yeah.
right, to come and get you. Because if you're like, sure, you're going to have the attendant, but if the attendant says, "Oh crap, he's down," he goes in there. Now
Yeah.
he's putting two lives at risk rather than just one.
Well, they always have
Right.
those emergency buttons near there to.
Yeah, well,
you
that's
know
why
what
you
I
have the
mean?
radio and
Yeah.
everything to call for help. And then I know ours was the local fire department would be our
Yeah,
rescue team.
yep. And it was
When I
right
worked
down the
at
road.
one other company, I was actually trained for the rescue, so I had to learn all the knots and all the fun jazz and
Oh,
how to
shit.
wear the respirators and all that.
That's
fun
good
jazz.
knowledge to have.
It was great knowledge to have, but I think the premise of it applies even in that situation, whereas as much as you want to help, sometimes you have to look out for yourself, because now instead of just putting one person at risk, you might be putting three people at risk in that situation.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
It's a hard decision to make, and it kind of goes against male nature, because male nature is
To help.
typically is I'm going to put myself at risk to help you.
yeah.
But-
Well, a good guy, anyway.
Yeah, a good man would. Yeah.
Yeah. Or woman. You know what I mean? I've seen some chicks do some pretty badass shit too.
Oh
but-
yeah. Well, that I'm just speaking generalities.
Yeah, I
I'm not
know.
trying to say that a woman would do it as well. I'm just saying ingrained men typically. Do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
Well, we're kind of taught that from a young age. So
I mean, I hope so.
my heart goes out to all those affected in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I hear that there's a lot of places you can go and donate that are trying to help out.
Yeah.
Did you hear about all the I guess that's X now.
Oh yeah, it's not Twitter no more.
It's not Twitter no more. But people were putting out like celebrities, like Oprah's property in Hawaii. What's the dude?
Oh yeah.
What's the blonde haired dude from Armageddon? Fuck.
Blonde haired dude from Armageddon. Sure as fucking Bruce Willis.
He's got the messed up nose, man. Long messed up nose. God. Wilson.
Yeah, Russell. Not Russell Wilson. God damn it.
Owen Wilson.
Owen, thank you.
I guess he has property there too, and I'm just like, that's cool, but they're putting it out there like, hey, you need to open it up and put. And I'm just like, okay, well, you're asking private people to do that. If they were good, I think they should.
Yeah, but you don't. They're not required.
But I don't like the fact that you're trying to shame someone into doing something that they should be doing. On their
yeah,
own.
that's kind of fucked up.
But that's kind of our culture now. Is everyone else is the judgment of good character? Like, oh, you didn't do this.
I don't know, man. Society's kind of fucked right now.
You're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't.
That's what we were saying.
And that's actually a good segue into the J6 conversation that we wanted to have.
Let's do it.
So the reason I say it's a good transition is because there was that dude that was standing out in front of it and saying, hey, everybody calm down. Like, don't go in.
He was trying to stop everything.
Well, they found him guilty.
Of? What was the actual final
I think it was
charge?
Misdemeanor trespassing is what I think he was finally charged on.
Oh, well, that, I mean...
Well, no, but misdemeanor can serve up to 1 year in jail, and I think he got 1 year in jail.
Probably with time served.
Well, more than yeah, because they haven't released anyone. They arrested everyone and kept him in solitary confinement. I mean, talk about
that's still bullshit, though.
Usual punishment. These guys are going off the deep end on it.
I saw a video of, it was a guy, he was an undercover cop. I wish we should have brought it up. I didn't think about it till right now, but it was an undercover cop saying that he was dressed like a Trump supporter, but he was underneath like that costume or whatever. Like he also had an Antifa. They were literally there stirring shit up, and he was like talking to the other cops. He's like, "Yeah, all the police officers that are in the crowd, they're marked with a wristband." Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's like, you guys are fucking shady. Like, and you wonder why we don't fucking trust you. You wonder why you're getting your ass beat or fucking nobody respects you anymore.
That's why Vivek Swami wants to dismantle the FBI, abolish it.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with him on that. No, the FBI is just a corrupt organization. How many So before we continue on the J6, I want to ask this question. How many people do you think how many federal agents work in the FBI?
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
It's about 70,000.
Oh, really? Okay.
How many of those actually work like the streets, actually do like the going out and apprehending people and doing the searches and all that fun jazz?
Maybe 10? I don't know. How many?
You're close. 15,000. About 15,000. So that means there's like...
That's like fucking 20%.
It's like 55,000 that literally have office jobs. Most of them in Washington, D.C. They're just back office bureaucrats. No wonder it's corrupt, man.
Yeah.
I mean...
You guys are fucking bored just playing with people's lives at this point.
So, I mean, I totally support Vivek Ramaswamy on this one, where he's saying, let's abolish the FBI. He doesn't want to get rid of everyone. He actually wants to take it over. And he's just like, the FBI agents that specialize in drugs, let's put them in the DEA. DEA is doing a phenomenal job on drug enforcement.
Yeah, they need to send their ass to the border right now.
And then he's like, let's put them in the DHS. Let's put them in the areas that they're specialized in and just get rid of the FBI, because the FBI has become this corrupt political tool.
Yeah,
like, I don't disagree with that.
The only issue I have with that would be like wherever they go, since they're already corrupt pieces of shit, they're just going to bring it with them.
So I don't agree with that, right? Because so when we talk like Peter Strzok or freaking what's his girlfriend's name, the one Lisa Page, right? We're talking those. These guys are the bureaucrats in the Washington office that are pulling the strings. They're the ones that are corrupt and worthless.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right.
But the ones that are out on the ground trying to do their job,
no, they're just doing their job.
They're just trying to do their job. I don't think they have a choice in the matter. They're not the ones pulling the strings like these.
No, but if that's the case, like I think there should be some sort of a filter, like a
test almost.
Yeah, you know what I mean, like some sort of
I'm
application process for, you know what I mean.
I would be, if he's already coming out and laying out these plans. I haven't dug into him all the way on how he wants to do it. Yeah, but I'm assuming that he would have some mechanism in order to determine whether or not you should be transferred or right.
He seems like a smart guy, so I would agree with you on that.
I know he wants to take on a little bit of the CIA as well.
Ooh.
He doesn't want to dismantle it like he does the FBI. Selling points that has me on him is he wants to get rid of the IRS. IRS is a bunch of freaking tools.
I think they should get rid of it and just instill that one tax.
A flat tax?
Flat tax, yeah.
So my son, 13-year-old, is having a deep conversation with me about taxation last night.
Oh, God, here we go.
So he was actually asking, like, what should the government be funded for and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. We started talking about how, like, it should fund the military, should fund public roads, public places. It should fund the interstate commerce, and it should fund foreign diplomacy, and then judicials, right, and the judiciary.
Yeah.
But that's about it. That's as much as I would say that the federal government actually needs to be involved.
No medical or anything like that?
No. And the reason I say that is I think that should be done at a state level because the states are going to have a better idea of what their people need versus the federal government. The federal government doesn't care about what goes on in Idaho, but the Idaho government cares about what's going on in Idaho, right? So my thought process, instead of instituting a flat tax, abolish the federal tax. Federal tax is absolutely bogus.
And just keep the
state.
Just
get rid of it. You should. I do believe there is a fair amount to be paid in taxes, and that should be paid at the state level. What I earn should go to Idaho. Mm-hmm. Idaho then to be a member of the states, right? Because we're part of the U.S. Constitution. We are the United States of America.
Fuck, not for long.
We should pay a percentage of our revenue from a state level to the federal government
in order to ensure
federal defense,
military,
and international trade, interstate commerce issues, stuff like that, right? So the state should be paying that in order to help the federal government institute that. But that means we don't need the FDA. That means we don't need the EPA. That means we don't need any of this stuff. All of this needs to go back to the states, and the states should form commissions in order to talk to each other.
Yeah, no,
right.
That's a really good plan.
That's just my thought.
No, and that's a good way to look at it. I just don't dude, you pay taxes on everything, and it's just gonna get worse.
You make money, you pay taxes on that money. You spend that money, you pay more taxes.
That's what I'm saying. And then
and then the vendor that you bought it from has to pay taxes on the money that they make.
And it's like it's a 6-cent sales tax and fucking, you know what I mean? Like, dude, it's fucking ridiculous. By the time you get your paycheck, half of it's gone.
Yeah.
And there's no room to breathe because, Bill Biden's giving us all breathing room.
No, he's not.
I know he's not. But there's nothing. Like, literally, you get paid and your check's gone. Mm-hmm. For the average American. Mm-hmm. And then they just want to fucking say, oh, you're not paying them enough. Inflate, you know what I mean? You're just causing more and more inflation. And then pretty soon it's going to be hyperinflation. And I really don't know what people are going to do. I'm lucky I have a good job. You seem to be doing fine, you know what I mean? Like, but for the average person or like the new people hitting the job market, like the teenagers,
the ones that are just turning 18 and entering the market, it's horrible.
Fuck, dude. Like, why would you want to? Especially when you're getting paid more, sitting on your ass.
My niece is a senior this year, right? And I was out driving with her the other day.
Yeah.
And I was asking her, I said, hey, are you planning on moving out? And she's like, I don't know. It depends on if I can afford it. And I'm like, that's a very smart answer.
Yeah, that is a good answer.
But at least she's thinking along that lines, like rather as much as she would want to move out, she has to think about whether or not she can actually afford it. And unfortunately, it's really hard these days.
And see, and that's what I told my kids. Like, when it's time, hopefully you're ready to go, and I've prepared you enough, like, to hit it on your own. You know what I mean? You fuck up, hey, I got you. You know what I mean? Don't make it a habit.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But you know what I mean? Like, I just in the future, I don't know. By the time that's what, like 6 years or something before my first is gonna go, has the option of going out on his own, and I don't know if there's gonna be anything to go out on his own with. You know what I mean?
I'm very fearful of the next generations and how they're gonna survive. Sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, if I hadn't developed the skills I have right now, I don't think I'd be able to live in this society.
No, I agree.
So let's hard segue back to J6. So we talked about some of the irregularities. Mm-hmm. So one thing that came out this week that I heard was the Capitol Police actually confirmed that they were denied access to National Guard support. The funny thing is Nancy Pelosi And the media have been sitting there saying like, oh, no, they never requested it and whatnot. And now it comes out that, hey, we did request it and you guys are the ones that actually denied it. Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House at the time, would have been the only one in order to actually make that happen. It was, I know they like trying to say it was like, oh, Donald Trump didn't do it. Well, Donald Trump was trying to encourage it.
Yeah, 2 days prior.
So with everything that's coming out and how they're treating them, now don't get me wrong. There are some people that went out and beat cops. There's some people that honestly should be going to jail or prison, but the majority of them, they've been in solitary confinement for what, 2 years now? No, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Have had very small amounts of interactions, and no matter what, they're being tried in Washington D.C. I'm sorry to say it, but
you're fucked.
They're screwed. It doesn't matter. Like you could have been the one telling people, stop, don't go in. Keep it peaceful. Keep it peaceful. Guess what? You're still going to be found guilty.
That's so fucked up, man. Like though, even like you were saying, the one guy trying to stop people. How the hell did he get charged? Like what? He was trying to help your stupid ass. Yeah. Like I don't know.
Well, so we have confirmation that cops open the doors, let people in. We have video evidence
of the
undercovers. We have video evidence of the shaman. The dude with the Viking helmet or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Being escorted around inside by police. So we have all this evidence that the police were allowing people in and doing all these things.
Yep.
We now have evidence that Nancy Pelosi rejected bringing National Guard in. Nancy Pelosi's daughter was also talking about how they were basically looking for an event.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was running around with a damn camera the whole time. That shit was set up.
So, the evidence, the preponderance of evidence right now suggests that the Democrats basically fabricated. I shouldn't say fabricated because that means that it wasn't real, and it obviously did happen.
Yeah.
But they put in a situation that allowed it to get as bad as it did, right?
Yeah.
Just so they could push their political narrative. And I mentioned this to you outside that after everything that's going on with the Democratic Party and what they're doing, and this is not all Democrats. There are some good Democrats, the liberal Democrats, the old school liberal traditional Democrats that are actually good.
The ones that are switching to be Republican
or go switching to independent. Right?
Yeah.
But then the leftist Democrats, the far left Democrats.
I don't get it.
These they're extremists. But, but they've taken over the Democratic Party, and unfortunately, the Democratic Party is more in line with a terrorist organization these days.
Oh yeah, you were telling me this. I like your definition of this, by the way.
So yeah, right. So if you think about what a domestic terrorist organization does, is they use violence in order to persuade political power, right?
Violence, intimidation, yeah.
So if you look at Antifa, you look at BLM, you look at the Democrats supporting all these fundraising, getting money so they can bail these people out of jail, and then setting up a situation that allows for their political opponents to get in there. They're basically encouraging violence in the streets. So to me, that is the definition of a domestic terrorist group. At this point, I can't really fathom how it could not be otherwise.
Do we have the definition of?
Yeah, I can try looking it up.
Hang on, I want to just so everybody knows what it's actually like. If you looked it up, what it is, the definition of terrorism. Is it domestic?
Well, domestic just means that it's in
local.
Terrorism is a term used to describe the use of intentional violence and fear to achieve political or ideological aims.
See, perfectly said. So yeah.
Based on that definition,
yep.
I would be comfortable enough saying right now that the left-wing party or the left-wing portion of the Democratic Party is a domestic terrorist organization.
And if you're voting for them, you are supporting terrorism. Dude, after the definition that we just went over, perfectly said, and yeah.
It's horrible.
That is horrible because we're supposed to be the United States of America, and
but the sad part is we can also go and look at the right hand side because we do have domestic terrorist organizations on the right hand side.
Yeah.
The funny thing is I'm not going to bulk and say that those are not domestic terrorist organizations.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is we can't, for some weird reason, we cannot say anything like that to the left.
No.
And it makes no sense. Antifa, by definition, is a domestic terrorist organization. Yes. The Democratic Party, through their funding and their political tactics, are trying to use fear in order to get their political ends done.
Yeah.
That is definition terrorism.
Yeah.
I mean,
no better than the people that do it overseas.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know?
No better.
So it's just we need to
gangsters
start
and
calling a
such.
spade a spade. We need to start holding the right and left accountable for their actions.
Yeah, but when are the people going to unite and do that?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. And it needs to be sooner than later.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're not going to have
Otherwise, we're not going to have a nation.
which is one reason I'm still on that Vivek's
Yeah, no,
train.
After you introduced me, well, not introduced me, but like his content and his beliefs and systems and everything last week, I did watch a few videos, and he does seem like a very good candidate.
Did you watch the town hall he did with Valuetainment?
No, I did not.
Oh man, that was a pretty good one.
I'll have to look that up after this one.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. I think it was about an hour and a half or 2 hours long, something like that.
That's not bad.
I like the fact that he's not scripted.
Yeah. I hate that shit.
He's truly trying to speak from a place of, I want to unify this country. I want to give us a vision.
He seems like he actually understands. But
Yeah.
see, that's a big issue with all the politicians is that they do understand and they know how to fucking flip that shit. Mm-hmm. And that's an issue. Like, why can't we just find somebody with good intentions? You know what I mean? Like genuine care and concern.
I think part of the problem is the fact that people think that the president has all this power. President really doesn't have
the
all
fucking
this
banks
power.
have more power than that bitch.
Well, presidents do have a lot of power, but they don't have the power that people think they do. They can't just go and change a law.
Yes.
They're responsible for enforcing the laws.
Yes.
However, Vivek's got it right. He is the chief of the executive branch. Mm-hmm. He can say, FBI, you guys have been politically corrupted. You know what?
Shutting
No
that
more
shit
FBI.
down. Yeah.
I'm going to transfer you guys out. Some of you guys are going to lose your jobs. Some of you are going to transfer.
Yeah, he
IRS, you guys are using fear tactics to go after political opponents. And you know, you're done. Department of Education, he wants to get rid of it. I wholeheartedly agree. The Department of Education on a federal level makes absolutely no sense.
No, it doesn't. The school, no.
I wish he would go one step further and actually, he likes unions, and I'm not against unions as long as they're private unions. But public service unions, I absolutely can't stand, because now you are allowing a union to negotiate against the people's interest, right? So teachers unions, I think, are horrible.
Yeah, I don't. Well,
Because they care more about themselves than they actually do about the education of the future generation.
exactly. And
right?
once they get tenure, they fucking check out.
Yeah. So that's kind of a weird off tangent, you know, but I'm sure there's a teacher out there that's going through a
emotional damage.
Sorry, I had to do it. Well, I
It's
mean,
like my favorite one you do.
well, you remember back in like 2015 or 2016 when Trump got elected? I mean,
2016, yeah.
it was all the freaking media personalities were breaking down crying.
Oh,
And it was
yeah.
teachers. Those were like the two.
I don't
like,
understand why. Like, fuck, dude.
For some reason, it was those two like main groups that were the ones freaking out. Well, at least on social media, that was the way it was portrayed, right? Mm-hmm. Every time you saw a video and I'm giggling and laughing, it was a media personality or a freaking teacher. It wasn't some Joe Schmo working down in a coal mine. He didn't say nothing, but it was these liberal.
Well, and then the way they portrayed it on social media and on the news and everything, like they only show you what they want you to see. You know what I mean? So it's like
Fair.
If you have a half a fucking brain, you would know that, and you would like do your own research or at least find good content creators to fucking listen to.
Yeah.
So
I do think it's
Fucking sheep.
that ties into a great segue for the Hunter Biden thing, though.
yeah,
too,
there we go.
because-
See, I'm good. I'm on point today.
Because Hunter Biden in the media is portraying like, oh, he never had all these business dealings and then lying for his father and all this fun jazz.
Yeah.
Comes to find out that all this is happening, and now the plea deal is being basically yanked from him because the
Well, they try to
Biden's
hide
deal-
that shit in there.
Yeah, Biden's DOJ was trying to say, oh, like we're not going to criminally prosecute you for this one, and then we're going to sign the saying that like, oh, you're not
and the
liable.
fucking judge caught it.
and then this one was doing this, and it was just like, well, hold on, if he does this and does this, then he's not responsible for any of it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and the judge caught it.
Dude, when I saw that little like headline, I was like, "What?" Click, click, click. I'm like,
So now it's just like, okay, well, so Biden's DOJ, which is corrupt as beyond belief, is being caught and called out. I mean, it is fascinating to see in real time people waking up to it and catching these people in these lies that they're doing,
which is awesome. Like, because they're messed up. You know what I mean? But I also am taking it with a grain of salt, and I'm kind of just like step back because what if that's like well, that's part of the plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, so
I don't trust them anymore.
I would love to say that, but because they got caught, now no matter what, Hunter has to face harsher consequences than he was seeing before. So I don't think that would be part of their plan.
No, not the I'm talking the government in general.
Oh yeah,
the same bird, two wings.
Gotcha.
Okay. I just like I want certain things, but I just don't trust anymore because there's corrupt people on both sides.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But I lean towards conservative.
So I feel you there because I refer to them as establishment Democrats or establishment Republicans. Establishment Republicans and Democrats are all corrupt.
Yes,
and you have a few outliers. But what I'm noticing though is the outliers, the ones that actually work more towards American freedom and prosperity and actually helping the American people, tend to be on the right.
Yes,
they tend to be open and listen a little bit more.
Yeah,
So I'm not a Republican.
No, I know.
I'm Mitch McConnell, he did some good things. I thought he did good on whatever. But I would never vote for that freaking guy.
Motherfucker's on his way to the grave.
Democrats, I think Joe Manchin does some good things sometimes.
I don't like Joe.
But I would never vote for the guy.
Yeah.
Right? But there's very, very few Democrats. I can name like two. Joe Manchin and Tulsi Gabbard. And Tulsi Gabbard's not even a freaking Democrat anymore. So I can only name one.
Who was the one? She was like the representative of Hawaii.
Tulsi.
Is that the one I'm thinking?
Yeah,
okay,
that's Tulsi.
That was the only one I had somewhat hope for when she was going up against, I think it was Hillary.
Oh, she was in the presidential primary.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, I think, no, Hillary wasn't in there. It was Biden.
Oh, yeah. It was Biden. And I was listening because I watched the whole debates. I watched the whole election process. I was like, I got to stay in touch with this one.
Yeah.
And I watched it. And I was like, huh. Out of everybody speaking right now, that chick at least has some brains.
Yeah.
And then like if she would have got
if she would have got the nomination, I don't even think there would have been a question in January 6th would have never happened because if she would have won, everyone would have been like, yeah, she was qualified. She was actually good.
Yeah,
she was not this historically corrupt person who had classified documents from when he was a senator that he should never even had access to. And I remember talking to friends during this 2016 election or 2020 election. Yeah, and I'm sitting here like, the dude is corrupt.
You can just see it.
He has plagiarized. He is racist. What was it? Was it the '94 crime bill or whatever it was?
Yeah.
I mean, that was Joe Biden's baby. I mean, the dude was racist.
He does not respect.
If you don't vote
people.
for me, you're not black. He. What did he say about Obama? He was like a well-groomed Negro or something like that.
Something, yeah.
Just this racist crap, and I'm like, how are you guys not seeing that he's racist? How are you not seeing that his family's been enriched after every single time he's like the Middle East?
They just found more money too.
Yeah. But yeah, so his brother got contracts in Iraq.
Yep.
Got
for housing development.
Yeah, for housing development. I mean, you can just look at his track record and you can see that there is corruption.
Oh yeah, there's a fucking paper trail. You ain't getting away with that shit.
And I really hate the left's argument about how capitalism is the downfall. And I'm just like, if you're talking about what's going on in America today, we are no longer living in a capitalist system. It has remnants of capitalism, but we are more like a corporatism right now.
Oh, yeah.
Where the corporates are the ones actually doing this. And the corporate is in bed with the government. Yeah. So stop complaining about how capitalism is the problem. Capitalism is not the problem. Capitalism is what got all of us from this low poverty level to a higher level.
Yeah.
And then through elections and through corrupt political parties, we have now entered into where governments and corporations are working together in order to screw over the middle or the middle America.
Middle class.
Yeah. And I wish we could figure out a way to stop it. I think Vivek Ramaswamy's got a great plan on that, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really need to start educating our younger population on what's really going on.
Yeah, we can only take care of our side of the street. You know what I mean? Like I can only do it with my kids, and you can do it with your
Yep.
Can't make everybody do it, and that's kind of unfortunate because they're gonna believe. You know what I mean? And I respect that. Those are your family. That's your clan, whatever you want to fucking call it, your people.
Yep.
And yeah, I just wish more people could see what's really going on.
It would be nice. I think if people turned off mainstream media, they'd have a better grasp of what's really going on.
Definitely.
I still can't believe like people right now think the economy is doing really well, and I'm just like,
What?
Like, do you not buy things?
No, they're on government assistance where it doesn't fucking matter.
That's possibly true. But, yeah, so we hit a various amount of topics.
Anyways, that's what's going on this week or last week.
Yeah, I mean, try staying in tune. I would recommend turning off MSNBC, all CNN.
CNN, definitely.
They're just going to lie to you. Fox News, I also recommend kind of shying away from. They're not as bad, but you're still not going to get the full story.
Yeah.
I would say go and start looking at YouTube, independent media.
Yep.
They tend to do a little bit better job trying to create a holistic story.
Or
Daily Wire is a right-wing news source.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate Daily Wire because they try giving perspectives from both sides.
Yeah, they do. I watch a little bit of them, but most of the stuff I find is just independent.
Yeah.
Small people that are like,
yeah,
they're not trying, like they're trying to make a living off of it or whatever, but they're not lying because you can actually research their sources and it's true. You know what I mean?
100%. So drop a like, share, and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about Hunter Biden. Do you think you guys would be facing the same charges or getting that sweetheart plea deal?
Oh God. And Hawaii.
Yeah. And I would, last thought on Hawaii, thoughts, prayers, send it out to them.
Yeah.
And then if you can, donate and try giving them a hand. Hope you enjoyed the content. Please leave us a comment on anything you want to hear us discuss. Something you disagree with. Please give us a like, share, and subscribe. Till then,
Peace.